So we'll be discussing one of the most highly prevalent arguments in modern sports, the debate between the greatest player of all time in basketball, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Well, in my opinion, I believe Michael Jordan changed the way the game of basketball was played because he took a game of basketball that was highly dominated by the big men and brought it to the more guard-prevalent game that we see in today's era. And LeBron James kind of paved the way for younger players that are a lot bigger and a lot stronger to be playing in these guard spots and forward spots at even such large heights. But I still believe that Michael Jordan is the best player of all time.
Michael Jordan never made it to 8 NBA finals. LeBron James did. Michael Jordan never became a consistent threat from beyond the three-point line. LeBron James did. Anything Jordan did statistically, James is on pace to surpass it. LeBron James may not have killer instincts like Michael Jordan had, but he has learned to perform well in clutch situations and make choice decisions. His pinpoint passing has been a staple of his career, and Jordan simply did not have the court vision James had. LeBron James is also a better leader than Jordan. While Jordan was playing, he led by example. James leads by example, but is also a consistent communicator, getting his teammates in the right position on offense and defense.
Who do you think is the greatest basketball player of all time? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
Why is this?
Well, Michael Jordan, not only was he probably the most skilled basketball player in terms of handle and skills, but he was the most clutch player in the history of the NBA. If you were down or if you were tied with the game left and MJ had the ball, it was as good as a loss. Michael Jordan, well, LeBron's great. I'd say he's more athletic. He's proven that he can have success with multiple teams, but at the same breath, Jordan carried the Chicago Bulls to 6 championships, and that elevates him.
Thank you.
My name is Julian Singh. I'm a junior at Zavarian.
Who do you think is the best basketball player of all time? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Definitely LeBron James.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like watching him play, he's just better than Jordan overall, and his statistics are just better. His stats, he just plays better.
Thank you.
All right. I know absolutely nothing about this.
Why is it not? Stop.
Hi, my name is Daniel Prianti. I'm a junior.
So, Daniel, who do you think is the best basketball player of all time? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
LeBron James, no doubt about it.
Why?
He's just more athletic. He's better built. He plays against rougher defense than Jordan, which is definitely something that we have to look at.
Thank you.
Who do you think is better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan is definitely the most dominant player to ever live and lives on to be the best player ever to play in the NBA.
In your opinion, who do you think is the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan, he played in the NBA when it was more difficult, against better competition, when the game was more real than it is today.
Who is the greatest basketball player in your opinion, LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Talking to me?
I might have to say LeBron James.
Why is this?
Because, he's breaking records. He's still in the league. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Michael has him beat on championships, but MVPs, scoring listing-wise, I don't know. I would rather take Michael Jordan, but at the same time, LeBron is definitely better than Michael Jordan. So.
Now, why would you say you take Michael Jordan?
Because I like him more. He stayed on one team, won 6 championships for his team. He never left. He went to the Wizards, but that didn't really matter. But and I like his game overall. He could shoot.
How do you believe Michael Jordan has changed the game of basketball?
Well, I think he carried on and established a legacy of team-oriented basketball that was followed up, on the heels of maybe the Celtics and the Lakers of the 80s, the early 76s. For a guy to do what he did for the Bulls during that run and get to the NBA Finals as much as they did, with the roster change every single year that they went through, and him still being able to take them to that level. I thought at that time it brought the game to a new competitive high. And that's what I would say. You know, the league at that time became so competitively challenging on all fronts, and I think he was a big part of that.
Do you believe that LeBron has had the same impact on the game of basketball as Michael Jordan?
I think it's very similar. You know, the difference obviously that LeBron has done it for a bunch of different teams. You know, he took a Cavalier team that, you know, when he first came into the league was decent and brought them to a championship eventually. You know, obviously went to Miami and did the same there. And if you look at what he's done already for the Lakers in terms of their competitiveness, you know, absolutely. So I definitely think he's obviously on the same level as Michael Jordan. But to be able to do it with a whole bunch of different teams, that's something special. You know, Michael Jordan obviously did it with the Bulls with a whole different supporting cast, you know. But LeBron James has been able to do it consistently with different teams. And I think that's a great accomplishment.
Do you feel that the level of competition has changed between their times?
I do. I think, and again, I'm not trying to show my age here, Ryan. I mean that, but I think when Jordan played, there were a lot more four-year players in college. So, I mean, you had older guys playing in the NBA. It was probably a little bit more physical in certain ways than it is now. If you've had a chance to watch the 80s, early 90 playoffs, games are very, very physical. I think one of the biggest areas that more younger players come out now. I think that's changed the game dramatically. I think the game has become more specialized now. There's more three-point shooters than ever before. You know, there's less big men in the game right now, whereas in the 80s it was dominated by, you know, every team having one real good center and then, you know, everybody else around that. And I think today it's a little bit different. So, you know, I do think the game has changed in terms of personnel, and I think the age of the players in the league has something to do with it as well as the style.
And then in your opinion, who do you believe is the greatest basketball player of all time?
I mean, I'm a little biased on this. I mean, I would probably say Jordan at this point, and that's a little unfair, I think, even to give you that answer. But, you know, I had a chance to see Michael Jordan play his whole career. LeBron's career is unfinished, but I do believe, and I will say this. I think that when LeBron is all said and done, you know, he will be, you know, the greatest player of all time. You know, but just based on what I saw in Michael Jordan's whole career, the way he did impact the game and the way he was able to take and create a Bulls dynasty for all those years was something incredibly, you know, not only special, but is something that, you know, I grew up and watched the Lakers, you know, with Magic Johnson, and the Celtics with Larry Bird, and they were great players in their own right. But what Michael Jordan did for the Bulls, to me, was, you know, incomparable. And I see LeBron James, I don't know how much longer he'll be in the NBA, but, you know, I do believe when it's all said and done, statistically speaking, as well as what he's done as his imprint, you know, he'll be the greatest player. I'm not sure if he'll win as many championships as Michael Jordan, but I'm not sure if that necessarily defines, you know, or should be the defining issue in terms of who's the greatest player. So that's what I'll say about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Rob.